Hello and welcome to Patch News Update. And I have with me Coach Patrick Holgan from West Virginia Wesleyan College. Coach Patrick, give us a little bit of your background. You have many jobs, you hold many hats at West Virginia Wesleyan. Give us a little bit of your background and go a little farther back, even your experiences with soccer and coaching and so forth.
Well, David, it's a pleasure to be here once again. I was here last year, had a great time. Really was looking forward to this trip and working with the kids. Uh, but I'm glad to be here because I do bring some many years of experience with soccer
Yep.
and athletics and um, going way back. I've been in the business 25 years. I do it as a profession. I hold many coaching licenses. I'm the state director for the Olympic program. I've been a club director for many programs for the last 20 years for soccer programs. I now coach at West Virginia Wesleyan. I've been coaching college for over 20 years. And I also teach in the business department there.
Yep.
And I also am the assistant athletic director at Wesleyan as well.
So let's cover one thing at a time. So, like I said, many hats. You play a lot of different roles there. How was your season last year with the West Virginia Wesleyan Lady Bobcats, LBCs? How'd your season end up?
Well, the season was surprisingly a very successful season, considering the year before we lost 14 seniors and we all thought it was going to be a rebuilding year. I underestimated my senior class and the leadership of my upperclassmen, and uh, that was the difference. We had an undefeated regular season for the first time ever. We hosted a NCAA uh, first round and second round tournament games at Wesleyan for the first
Yep.
time ever. We also were number one in defense in 5 categories throughout the year and finished the year that way. We had a couple of All Americans this year, and we had Defensive Player of the Year across the country
And you only allowed 2 goals scored all season.
in the regular
Regular season.
season
Yep.
and tournament playoff.
That seems crazy to me. Now, how many games are in your regular season?
20 plus two playoff games.
Right. So you went 20 games with only 2 goals scored against you. That's phenomenal.
Right,
That's an
22
awesome.
games.
22.
22
Sorry,
games.
yes, 22.
Then the NCAA tournament.
Yep. So that's a pretty big record. That's a good testament to how good your crew was, especially defensively. And we met your 3 team captains, very well-spoken young ladies. Talk a little bit about their leadership qualities and what you uh, like about it, your personal experience with that.
Well, to watch them grow from freshman to sophomore to junior to senior year, um, what makes them different is their commitment,
Right.
their discipline, their ability to communicate uh, what it takes every step of the way. It's not about winning, it's about the process that it takes to get to be that champion. They drove those philosophies in and demanded from all the younger players when the times were tough,
Right.
when it was not as easy. Uh, they helped everyone else along by setting the examples. And it was all about discipline. It was all about commitment.
And we came to a game and it was 0-0 at halftime. I noticed my family and I were sitting up in the stands. We noticed that you didn't go right over and talk to your team. Your captains were doing their job, so to speak. Talk about that a little bit and what the difference that makes.
I really enjoyed that. And I purposely would not walk over because I would look at my leadership and they would be laying the law, giving instruction, making adjustments, demanding more.
Yep.
And it was really a pleasure to watch, and it makes my job much easier.
Yep. So I think that's a important aspect of leadership, not only in the team but also from you from coaching as well. So to have that built in. Talk a little bit about how those qualities translate to someone that might be watching that says, well, I'm just participating in a rec league or starting to look at getting involved in travel, or my kids just playing middle school soccer and we really don't know where we're going. What kind of qualities do you think would be important for those parents to reinforce at that level, younger level?
Well, I think it's all very important, no matter what level your kid is playing at, no matter what sport your kid is playing. The characteristics that are developed in team sports, individual sports, just in sports in general, would be the commitment. And once you sign up for a sport, commit to that season, commit to that sport totally. Um, make no excuses, accept the discipline, be more disciplined, be self-disciplined, be self-motivated to excel. Do not accept just mediocrity. I would suggest reaching out, utilizing resources to help your kid improve and develop, and always encourage them to um, do the work on their own that it takes to succeed.
And then you come here for a soccer camp. We had a baseball camp last week. We're having a run mechanics camp come up. Uh, how important is it to have your child attend those camps, and what benefits do you see from that aspect? And of course, you're bringing those aspects here, so I think it's important that we get your view on that.
Well, one of the reasons I get excited about coming out here is the fact that you take an interest in the kids and what you're doing for your community. Uh, Always seeking out new resources to bring in. It's so difficult for people in this county and surrounding counties to get out and
Right. Rural areas, you feel contained.
right, and it's very difficult. So what's nice about coming out here is that for the kids and for the community is I have a wealth of experience nationally, internationally, um, in my profession.
Right.
And I'm able to bring many qualities of coaching and different aspects and a diverse approach to how I teach due to my experiences. So um, I love West Virginia. I've been here for almost 20 years now in the state and the surrounding state, and working with the kids. And when I go out to small communities like here, I really get excited and enjoy the kids, and I can see that they're absorbing everything we talk about, and we try to make it a fun experience for them.
Sounds great. Working off that aspect. Now, with your experience, you're an ODP coach. Explain that a little bit for anybody that's not aware of that background. I know what it means from talking to you, but for someone else that may not, what ODP stands for, your involvement with that, and how that allows you to work at the local level.
Well, the Olympic Development Program, which the acronym is ODP, is the actual process for selecting our national team, as everyone watched in the Copa America when they played Argentina on Tuesday. And all of those players came through the Olympic Development Program outside the ones that have been raised internationally.
Right.
So the ODP program, happen to be the state director, and we go out to various communities and we have tryouts, and we try to select the most talented kids, the kids that are most committed, and it's a chance for those kids to challenge themselves to play at the highest level possible and to have an opportunity to be on the Eastern regional team, to be on the national team. And one of the other benefits, not only do they play with the best players in the country and in the state through their trainings, but they also are being coached by some of the best coaches in the state and some of the best coaches in the country. We have a fantastic staff of coaches. For such a small state, we have a lot of qualifications and some excellent teaching experiences for the kids.
You just had some recent success. We were talking, and you had a team that went 3-0. Talk a little bit about that. And
Well,
that's a milestone.
Well, we enter a regional tournament against every other state in the eastern U.S., Region 1. So West Virginia was bracketed with other states,
Right.
and this was our most successful year we've ever had. We had a team advance. We've only had 3 teams advance in 25, 30 years, and this year we had one team advance, and we had another team that's not old enough to advance yet go undefeated. My team, which was the oldest team on the female side, beat Western New York for the first time and went 2-1. We had another team finish 2-1. So we had some success, and it just shows that the state of West Virginia is taking major strides in developing, and I do see some talent in this group I'm working with out here. So I fully expect to see some of these kids in the ODP program in the next couple of years.
And I think that's important to make those strides and start to see all that hard work pay off. I wouldn't say West Virginia is traditionally known as a soccer state, but you're getting there very fast. So that's wonderful to see. If any parents, what do you think the main thing you could tell a parent that says, well, I'm from a rural area, and I know we talked to you last year and you said get involved with the travel program, stay involved with your rec program, try to attend camps. Is there anything that's changed, or what would be a solid message you would send to parents about getting involved? And maybe it's not just soccer, but any sport. What's the basis? And I know you talked about characteristics their kids should model and parents should model. How much exposure should they go out of the way to get, so to speak, and in what manner?
Well, Dave, this is what I recommend to all parents. And I highly recommend that you seek out every resource for your child, for your child's team, whether it's a technological resource, whether it's a personal resource, an educational resource, to help them improve in the sport in every aspect, whether it's the psychological skills of commitment, discipline, mental toughness, communication, work ethic, coachability, attitude, or whether it's improving physically, whether it's getting stronger, more athletic, improving fitness, just developing physically. And then, seeking out the resources for understanding the sport that they're playing thoroughly and understand every level of strategy and the types of strategies and the roles your kid will play or could possibly play. And don't limit your kid to one position, or just understand the sport as a whole, and so they can be more useful to the team and to the coach. And then the utmost important thing for all parents with your kid in a sport is developing their skills so they have the tools to play the sport, and that will allow them to gain confidence as long as they're more competent. So utilize the resources, bring resources in, just as Patch is doing here with soccer camp and has done with baseball camps and
rolling into track, yes.
Yep, and rolling into track
for everybody.
Yeah. So there's something for everybody. That's right.
Yeah. Well, that's a wonderful analysis of what you need, regardless of what sport you're in.
Right.
So, if nothing else, that's great for parents to have something to grasp a hold of and work with. Okay, well, we'll finish up with that, and we'll get back with a couple more videos here with Coach Patrick and on different topics throughout the week as we get them up. So, Coach, thank you for coming in. We appreciate your time, and we'll have a couple more shows where we can get more detailed, so to speak, in some of our conversations.
Sounds great. Thanks,
All right.
Dave.
Thank you, and we'll be back and look for the other videos.